Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're gonna carve a little face in this small piece of small block of basswood. It's 1 by 1 by 2 1/4 inches. I must have been a leftover cut from something else I used, but we're not gonna waste it. We're gonna make a little face in here, and we're gonna make one that anybody can make. We're just gonna do a simple face off the cuff. I think anyone can do it. We're going to be using my newly acquired, this is my straight blade from Alan Goodman. I don't really have a name for this knife, but it's nice. Very nice. I got a review on it. You can look it up. So we're going to take these corners down a bit, all the way around. Make it a little easier to handle. Just take these sharp edges off. This is what you call a paring cut. This one right here. Be careful, watch your thumb. You're doing it. Take your time. This is for you newbie carvers. This is basic. Just want to keep everybody safe, so make sure you're wearing a carving glove. Thumb guard, maybe, if you feel safer. You probably should if you're just learning. But we take these corners off so it's just so rough on your hands when you're holding it and moving it around. Just shave them all down a little bit, just like so. Then we want to lay out the face. I'll grab a pencil. Let's see. So we got, we'll say our hair is going to be up here, right? So you want to come down and leave room for a forehead. So you're going to come down to about, let's say here on this one. About here. We're not going to have a big forehead. So this will be the brow where the eyes are going to set in. And below that we're going to have a spot where our nose is going to be, across here. Somewhere. Nothing's exact, doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be perfect. So first thing we're going to do, let's mark where the nose is. Let's just put a line right there like that. Cut up like that. That's a stop cut. And you just cut right up to it. A little bit of an angle, and we'll be removing this down here some more a little bit later. And then we're going to take from here up, we're going to, just like this. We're going to make a couple passes like that on each side. Take that corner down, just like so. Then we're going to make a cut right here. And make another cut right here. Got it? Okay. And we're going to just go in there a little bit, and then come down here like this. Just like so. We're making a little spot to put our eyes. Sorry for my camera shaking. It's the way I have it mounted tonight. I should have done it a different way. So this is a little spot for your eyes. You just want to try to get them as even as possible, symmetrical from one side to the other. Which I don't have them. This needs to come up like that. It's hard to see around this camera. Trying a different setup here. We'll get through it. Nothing's perfect. Just gonna carve that down. That looks a little better. Okay. Now we're gonna take a couple lines right here, each side of the nose. Go straight in. On this side, you want to try to keep the same distance as you have from here to here. You want from here to here. And get as close as you can. Straight in again. Okay? Then we're going to make what they call smile lines. We're going to come down. We're going to go too far. Just down a little bit. So right where that end of that little mark is that you made with your knife right there, you just want to come down like that, very carefully. When you're making those cuts, you're going to grip your knife, and you want to plant your thumb just like this. Keep it steady. You don't want to pull with your arm. When you start pulling with your arm, that's when your knife will slip off the wood and you'll get yourself hurt. You'll cut yourself. So again, you just use your knuckles or your wrist and your grip almost like an old bicycle grip, bicycle brake or motorcycle brake. You just kind of pull it like that. Okay, so we got them. Then we're going to turn this over and we're going to cut this up like that. And we're going to pop that out. It should have popped right out. There we go. Just like so. Same thing on this side. Take that one out. And then take those sharp edges off, and you can take some of this down too. I'm going to start putting some details in just a minute. We're going to kind of maybe lay out where our mouth is going to go. Let's remove some of this down here. We're going to be getting rid of a lot of that. It's going to be a basic one. Okay. You want those good and deep on each side of that nose. Make those little cuts deep enough to where you have plenty to work with. Okay. So let's get our pencil. Let's put let's do a little crooked mouth. Go like this. A crooked smile, different expression. Just like that. Okay. Then we're going to take this tip of our knife, and we're going to come in here. We're going to be using that same grip and same technique as we did when we made these cuts. We're going to choke up on it. We're going to stick the tip of our knife in there, like so, just the tip. And you keep your thumb on there and slowly, carefully pull it right up to that line and then stop. Okay? And flip your piece over, put that knife back in there, right where you left off when you pull it, and you're going to do the exact same thing. Plant that thumb, keep that thumb on there, make sure your fingers are out of the way down here. Plant that thumb and take that. Bring it one more time around there, up to that spot. Stop. Okay, so we'll come back and do some more details on that mouth. But so now we got our layout. We know that's in there. We have a nose, and then so now we need to figure out where our eyes are going to be. So let's take our pencil and put your little dot on each side of that nose like that. One here and one there. Try to keep them even. Like so. I mean, that looks like a face right now already, but we're not done. Then we're going to take and come over from this dot over this way. Oh, let's go, I'll say guess about a 1/4 inch. Right there. Make another dot. Come over to the other side. And I'm coming down just on a little bit of an angle, you can see. And then come over here and do that same thing. About a 1/4 inch, maybe a little less than that. Okay, and let's draw. Go like this. and bring this line down a little bit, like so. And I'm going to show you one technique. There's so many different ways to do these eyes, but we're doing a knife only here. That's how we're going to do this one. So, now, well, let's draw the bottom part too. Might as well get that out of the way. So you're going to come down like this. Hope you guys can see that. You're going to come right about there. Right about there. They look pretty close. Then what I want you to do is take the very tip of your knife, to go just about straight in on an angle like that, coming down into this part of that line. So straight in, stick your knife in there. Come up to the top, same thing. Straight in. Come to the other side, do the same thing. Straight in, straight in. Okay. Now we're going to take our knife on an angle, and we're going to take this little corner out of here, just a little bit. Come on out, everybody out. This side too. Like so. And we're going to come down to the bottom outside corner of the eye. The same thing. Stick your knife in. Stick your knife in. Take that corner out. On the other side. Stick a knife in. Stick that knife in. Put that knife, lay it down almost flat, and take that corner out. Okay. Alright, now that we get the corners taken out of it, do this one a little bit more on this side. There we go. Then we're going to take those lines that we drew, we're going to take the tip of our knife, and we're going to just make a line right around like that. Okay. Even though I was choking up on this, I still got my thumb on there. I keep my thumb on that wood all the time. It's like that. And we want to come around to the other side, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come around, cut that line. Okay, and we're going to go to the bottom. We're going to do the same thing. Take our knife, and we're going to cut around, like so. Around like so. Get my little handy dandy brush. Where is it? Uh-oh. There it is. Get you one of these if you don't have one. I know I say it in every video, so hopefully you guys are listening. And we're going to carve those out. We're going to come in just an angle, just like this, and carve that out. Okay. Then we're going to flip it over. We're going to do the same thing at the bottom. We're going to come out on a little bit of an angle, and we're going to carve that out. Same with this side. Carve that out. Okay, and you can clean that up and shave it down a little bit, like so. And we want round eyes. So, take a look at your eye. See, like I know I need to take some more off here to make it a little round. You take this little edge down a little bit more, make it round. Same with this area right here. shave it down, just make it round. Okay. And the other side, I'm going to take that piece out of there. There we go. Sometimes them little pieces get stuck in there pretty good in that little slot that you cut out. Don't dig too much with your knife because you'll create some fuzzies. And then just slice, shave that down, round it off. And I hope you got a really sharp knife because you need to have a sharp knife at all times. You need to strop. Let's curve that back a little bit. Give us a little more of a profile for the eye. Okay. And clean this up a little bit. Same here. We can take some of that brow away. Here, just take some of that brow away, come back into it this way. Okay, we'll come back to them in a minute. Alright, now this nose, we got a big old hump right there. We can take that down, take this side down a little bit. This side down a little bit. Just try to keep it symmetrical. If you take a little off one side, you got to take a little off the other. I think maybe take a little more right down the middle, like that. And the tip of the nose, we can take that off a little bit, round these edges, and then we can cut this on a little angle going up this way. Then we're going to make a cut going up this way. So take a little bit at a time. Don't take too much. So you get a feel, so you see how you like it. It's easy to take too much off one side or the other, and then you start up getting a really small nose. You start running out of real estate there. Now, let's work on these wings, okay? So, where this little line comes up here, we want to make a line come up from here down. So we're just ever slightly with the tip of your knife, like that. See that? Just so ever slightly. Same with the other side. Now this is a tricky part, getting these symmetrical right here. Always look at them a couple of times. In fact, you can even do this. Find your starting spot. Okay, come over. I want to start my knife right about there. Right about there. Hook it right back into that line. Like that. It's pretty close. Okay. Now, on an angle, you're going to just take out a little bit of that edge, like so. Same here. That's where a sharp knife comes in handy. Like so. It's not perfect, but I don't know anybody that's perfect. Just taking it down a little bit. Looks a little bulky. Like so. And then I'm going to take some of this hard line out of here. So I'm going to come back. We took it off this part of the nose inside here. Now we're going to come over and take it off of this edge. And we're going to round that off and take that sharp edge out. Just like that. And then we're going to come down here with the tip of our knife and just ever so gently shave that edge down. Soften it up. Can you see that? Okay, and we're going to do the same with the other side. Just ever so gently. Oh, the wood's trying to pull in there. We'll go that direction. Okay. So that really softened that up. Okay. Now I'm gonna take right here. I'm gonna do it just from the about where those lines come together from here to here. Right in that area, I'm just gonna do a little bit of a scoop. Little scoop. Little scoop. And we're going to give him a little ball on the end of his nose. Like that. Just like that. And we're going to clean up all this. See all this rough wood that's on here? That's from when the board was milled, or the basswood was milled, when they cut it to the sizes. Well, that's the rough saw marks that they leave, and you gotta get them off. If you end up painting your carving, it'll make a difference if you leave that on there. It'll look funny when you paint. You want it to look the same. So we'll just take our time. Let's clean all that off right now. A little paring cut. I'm just shaving it off. Again, a good sharp knife. You shouldn't have no problem doing that. Come over this side, we'll do the same thing. Just like that. And a little more up here. A little more right there. We got it. Just brush her off, see what we got. Okay. So, now this eye looks more exposed than this eye, doesn't it? So I think we need to take this down just a little bit. They're not perfect. One's a little bigger than the other, but we can take a little bit more off of this one, because I think this eye looks a little bit bigger. And it probably is. I said we didn't measure nothing. We're just eyeballing. No pun intended. And I'm going to put my knife in there again, like we did at the beginning. Just like that. And I'm going to take a little more out of that corner. I'm going to do the same thing over here, just tiny, tiny bit. I'm just trying to make that eyeball look a little more round and more like it's in a socket. Okay. See a piece stuck in there again. Come on out of there, you little rascal. There we go. Okay. Now, that nose some more. We're just run that flat up there like that. Okay. And we take this back. This is sticking out too far, so we're just gonna put our knife right there and go right back. Top of this one. A little bit off of that one. Like so. You want to have that rounded. Your face should always be rounded. Your face has like 3 planes to it. You know, here, the front, and each side. Okay. So that's looking pretty good so far. If I quit gouging it with my knife, doggone it. Don't do that. Alright. Now, this mouth. I'd like to cut that a little bit more open, just to give it a little more action. So I'm just going to take my knife again and cut out just a little bit right there, just to open that mouth up a little bit. So I took a little more off the bottom. You can take it off the top as well. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here on the top lip. and I'm going to slice a little angle down and in, like that, like that. Flip it over so I get that angle, and like that. Okay, and that kind of creates a little lip, right? Just make sure that's all cleaned up, no heavy lines. Okay, I still got one right here. I need to clean up right there. Come on, like so. Now the bottom lip, kind of do the same thing that we did, but see, it's a little heavy right there. I need to take that whole thing down a little bit. Looked like he had a fat lip, so we popped him on. We're gonna do the same thing here. Is we're gonna put on a little bit of an angle and carve up this time. A little bit of an angle, carve up. Flip it over, a little bit of an angle, carve up. And now I think I want to open that mouth a little bit more. So it kind of looks like it almost closed up a little bit. This time I'm going to take a little off the top. Just shaving it. See that little sliver? That's all we're taking out of it. Just that little bit. Just a little more off the bottom. Like so. Now, below the lip, where you're between your chin and the bottom lip, I like to take, since we got this one on an angle, I'm going to make my first cut. I'm going to come just about down to this. I want to make sure you can see it. Just about to this little ridge where we shaved it up. I'm going to, just below that, I'm going to go like this. Put a little line, and then I'm going to take a little chip out. Like that. Then I'm going to come next to it, take another little tiny one, like that. And I'm going to kind of taper it up towards the corner of the mouth, like that. And I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. Cut that out. Taper it up a little bit towards that corner of that mouth, like so. And then I'm gonna even on a steeper or a flatter angle, I'm gonna come up and shave up to that. Just remove some of that. And if you have to, you just come back and clean it up a little bit. Hope everybody can see well. So I'm trying a different way of doing my camera, so anyway, you can kind of see his lip now. Oops, off camera there, sorry. You can see his lip. And you can mess around with these forever, trying to get them smooth and perfect, but you don't need to. Okay, you don't need to do that. So his smile is kind of going up that way. Notice his face kind of a little twisted there. Let's take a little bit of this out, just like that. Just a little bit. Kind of do a little curve. Maybe a little bit more. Take a little at a time. Now I'm going to take my knife just between, probably about halfway between this and the corner of his mouth here. So between this and the corner of the mouth. And I'm going to make a small little line like that. And then I'm going to take the very tip of my knife and I'm going to put it in there like that. And then I'm going to come back the other angle and take another little shaving out of it. And you really don't have to do all these details. I'm just giving you some options. If you have a V-tool, you can use a V-tool, but I'm just trying to make this a little more friendly for a very beginner that might just have a knife, even if it's a pocket knife. If you haven't had a chance to go buy you a Alan Goodman knife. It's a plug for you, Alan. And I'm taking this chin down just a bit, and I'm going to start shaping up that head. Okay, so we get it's a block head now. So we want to have temples on each side. So we're going to take a big old hunker off of there like that. And careful, the wood that was trying to tear on me there. I probably took a little too much at one time. Same over here, just going to take some off over here. Okay. Come up like that. Take some chunk squares out of there. Round it off. The other side, same way. Take a bunch out of there. Like so. Trim this down as well. If you wanted, well, beards are pretty easy to do too. It saves you from, having to do all the lip work and all that business. Pretty much, you can put a beard and a mustache in, and that makes it a little simpler. But I think you should try to start making like this first, so you know what's under that beard. Now I'm just trimming it down a little bit. And we didn't put ears on this guy. That'll be another time. But I'm still going to taper his jawline up so it looks like he's got more of a real face. So I don't normally make a line. I usually just use my knife, but we're going to kind of come down here like so. And we're going to draw a line like this. Oops, curve at his jaw. And bring that around here like so. And like that. And you remember when we made those little notch cuts here? Well, we're going to do the same thing all the way around this line. Okay? So we'll just start. Actually, I like to start in the middle and work my way out. So I'm just going to go like this, get started, get it set in, like that. And I'm not going to go all the way around this, not in this particular video. I'm just trying to get you the face. I don't want a long video. Yeah, like so. Okay, so now we know, and then you can adjust it. So that looks pretty good. Actually, I don't see too much to adjust, other than start trimming it down a little bit, get a little more shape, like so. Maybe take this in a little bit for the cheeks. Same with this side. So just look at them, say, okay, I got here and here, so I need to scoop a little bit out of there. Just like that. Okay, so we're getting a face. All right, now start removing some of this. We don't need all that. You want to take her all out. Don't be afraid to use it. Just be safe. Okay. Now we can go back over that same line, cut up to it, and back down to it. Up to it, back down to it. Like that. Make a couple of cuts there, make it a little deeper where your chin would come over your neck. Just simple cuts, simple. So you're kind of creating a bust, you know, is what you're doing there. We're not going to have shoulders. It's going to be mainly a face exercise. Okay. All right. So we got that pretty good. You know, you can come down and round and take these little edges off if you wanna. You get your basic shape. Now, oh, something here too. A little snot trough. You just want to kind of take the tip of your knife and roll it in there slightly. Put a little mark there. That's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you have a little gouge, you can take a little gouge. Let's take this forehead back a little bit here. Maybe a little more off the top on these sides, these corners. Like that. And let's give him a little spot for some eyebrows. Okay. Let's see. Expression. Okay, let's take a little line like this. And one little line like this. Take a little chunk out of it like that. A little bit off each side. Just like that. That's a little tiny mini V cut right there. Okay? And then just above that brow ridge that we have here on each side, we're going to do some more scoop cuts. Just like that. And that's going to give us our eyebrow, the brow line. Okay. And just kind of take that one off and straight back. We'll clean that up in a minute. I'll come over the other side, scoop cut, scoop cut, scoop cut. Just like so. Now, let's put some hairline on this guy. So, let's say he's going to have a part right here, and that hair is going to come over like this and down his face like that. And this one, so you're going to have a little bit of a V for the hairline, where the part is, I mean, and bring that down like that. Again, now we're going to take the tip of our knife. We're just going to follow that line we draw. We're going to put just the tip in there. Like this. Bring it around. Be safe. You don't have to go as fast as I'm going. Take your time. And when you get to that edge, stop and rock it. Okay? Now, we're going to start right there, and we're going to come down. Let me get a different grip so you can see. Same thing. Just the tip. Keep your thumb on that anchored so you don't slip. You get to that edge, stop, and you can just rock it. Okay? Now, we're going to take our knife, the tip of our knife, and we're going to follow that line around just like that to the other one. If you don't feel you went deep enough, go over it again. You want that hairline to stick out a little bit. Just like so. pop that out. It's always nice to kind of have that a little deeper. Right there you can make a little V-cut and then, or pyramid cut, I guess you could call it too. Take that out. Then again, come back up with the tip of your knife. Man, this knife is sharp. This is a good knife. I really, really like it. Just like that. If you have to go back over it, go back over it. So kind of give them a thing. Now we can let's get rid of these square marks, you know. Like so. Anyway, eventually I'm going to take all that. Let's take this off here. Gosh, I hope I was in camera for all that. I'm taking all that factory cuts off, I guess you want to call them. I don't know what else to call them. Like so. So it kind of gives you a hairline. So now it's a little guy with some hair in his face, or hair in his head. And you can put details in that hair. A very simple way of doing it is figure the hair is flowing different directions. So with a part right here, this is probably coming down like this, you know. Same this side going the other way, like that. So to give it that action, cut yourself a little slit right there and take a little notch out. See that? You do another one right here. Take a little notch out. So we get a little chip out right there, and that's okay. We'll use it to our advantage. Make it look like he's got some messy hair. Like so. You put another one down here. And then you could do one way down here. Like that. And you can even cut a little, maybe a little curved line in here like that. And cut that little piece out. Give you a little texture. You can do that all the way up over here. Same here. Try not to do real straight lines. Put a little curve in them. The old S line is always a good one. I wasn't going to do all this, but now I started it because you really don't need to, especially if you paint them. Now that part right there, we can make that a little more prominent, make it just a little deeper, a little more out of it, like that. And then we can go like that. Take that out. We can make a couple more of those little marks in there. And make that another little line. Like that. See that? Like I said, we're not going to go all the way around the back of this, but you get the gist of it, and you just kind of keep going like that. Take some of them sharp edges off. Yeah. Kind of like that. And then, you know, if you're going to put some paint on this guy, you can really snazz him up. Get that out of there. Maybe a couple of more smile lines on his cheeks here. Just put something like that. And just round some stuff off. And you could go forever and ever and ever. But, I mean, there's a basic face. And I don't know how long this video, you know, so we got 45 minutes into it or so. It really doesn't take a lot of time to do a face like that. And I think, you know, with some practice, you can do it. If you get these basic cuts down where, you know, your smile lines and the nose and the eyes, just work on those. You can even practice carving eyes. You know, just start doing it. You know, you draw them out, draw your little line. This is on a flat too, you know, so draw a little line out like that. Draw you an eye shape. Again, remember that what we did, that eye, went into that corner like that. We went into that corner like that. We chipped that out of there, right? And we went to the other side. Like that. And then we chipped it out of there. Then we followed that line. And you can just carve that line out. As you can remember, your eye is round, so just like that. And carve the other one out. Just remember, keep that thumb planted. It'll definitely save you from getting you're flying off the wood and cutting yourself. I don't want nobody to get hurt. It happens, trust me. I know all about it. And then you just round it up. And then if you have to, you go back in here, hit those marks again on corner to corner. Take that V out of there. One more time, make it a little deeper. Same with this side. And then you just start rounding it. Even if you have to just make chip cuts, you can do that. Just like that. So practice those. Practice your noses. Here, this was a face I was starting to practice. I don't know when, but I was eventually. Anyways, so you can do it. I know you can. Good luck. Let me know how you're doing in the comments. Thank you.